Erling Haaland's at Manchester City, and we have the technology to see exactly how that is actually going to go in Football Manager. But just since we're already doing this, we're going to have a little fun. We're also going to sprinkle in Gabriel Jesus moving to Arsenal. We're going to sprinkle in Darwin Nunez moving to Liverpool and Sadio Mane leaving just so that he's able to get enough playing time. And we're going to see how all of those results play out on Football Manager 22 over the course of a season. First, we need to actually move them, though. So we have Erling Haaland. He's smiling his absolute best smile. We're going to open up the editor and move him to a new club. How about Man City? How's the weather there? I heard your father used to play there. God, what a great excuse to go get paid a ton of money. All right, what was it? 75 million. That's what we're going to make the transfer fee. That was his release clause. I can't count that number of zeros. I think it's 6, and we're going to click OK. And then we're going to go over and grab Gabriel Jesus. We're going to move him to another club, and that club is going to just start. The recommended club was Gabriel Jesus. You're absolutely right. We're going to send him over to Arsenal. On to Arsenal. Go get you the number 9 shirt, and that was 50 million. Can't count that number of zeros, definitely, because there's another 0, and I just hate counting zeros. So now he's at Arsenal. And let's go find Darwin Nunez. Boom. Darwin, how you doing, my big guy? Move to another club. You're going to Liverpool. I hope you have a great time. How much was this? 65 million, I think, and then add-ons or hold on. It was 79 million. Remarkably, the most expensive of all 3. Then we've got to yeet Sadio Mane out of there. We've yeeted him to Bayern Munich, who's not even in this database. We literally just have the Premier League so that we can do proper simulations here. And we have disabled the first transfer window. So these teams can make transfers in January, but they're not able to make transfers in the summer. All that's left now for us to do is see what actually freaking happens. So let's go on vacation. You guys want to go? Where do people from England go? Isn't it like Spain? I was right. Oh, thanks, Google. So let's return from our vacation on Monday, May 23rd, 2022. Off we go. Let's see what happened.
12 seconds later.
We're back. The simulation is done. And the first thing that we see when the simulation is done, Newcastle's been relegated. I don't think that's going to happen for a very long time. Regardless, let's go take a look at the Premier League. And wouldn't you know it, Man City has won the league, with Liverpool coming up 2nd and Arsenal finishing in 5th. So my initial reaction to the actual table is that the 3 new forwards introduced to the Premier League have changed just about nothing. But there is only one of them that's popped up on the Golden Boot race, and that is Erling Haaland, who has won the Golden Boot with a 27-goal performance. But let's take a look at Gabriel Jesus. Jesus actually had a pretty good season after his move from Man City. He played 35 of 38 league matches, showed good hardiness. He was able to play almost the full schedule. 17 goals, 4 assists, 5 Player of the Match awards, and a 7.33 match rating. I mean, that is probably what Arsenal fans would be hoping for. Somebody that can put the ball in the back of the net consistently and consistently provide good performances, even though it wasn't good enough to drag them all the way up to the Champions League. Apparently, Arsenal needs even more firepower than they have with Gabriel Jesus to actually get there. But I think at this point, we've just proven conclusively that they're cursed and they're never going to play in the Champions League again, which I'm, for one, am not surprised. And now that we've confirmed it, I'm sure you won't be either. Former Football Manager wonder kid Darwin Nunez moves for an incredible amount of money to Liverpool, and unless he gets an attribute boost in the next Football Manager, he played 12 matches, he scored 2 goals, and he had an average rating of 6.83, which generally means that Football Manager does not think a graphic that looks like this has any basis in reality, despite the fact that Darwin Nunez had an absolutely brilliant season in Benfica this past year and is probably due for an attribute upgrade. At least the way he was seen coming into the year, he's not somebody that's going to be influential in the Premier League in a super serious way. At least he got on the field. Yeah, it definitely looks stupid now. But to be clear, I think Darwin Nunez is going to be better. I mean, look at these numbers from his last season in the Portuguese league. And if we've seen from Luis Diaz this past year, there is the ability to take that and translate it directly to Premier League competition. And that's what they'll be hoping Darwin Nunez can do, but it requires a pretty serious upgrade to how he was perceived in a pretty short amount of time. The same cannot be said for Erling Haaland, who showed up at Man City, scored 27 goals in 36 matches, added 5 assists, and averaged a 7.6 rating on the way to leading Man City to another Premier League title in this simulation. So this is pretty solid evidence. This is a good reminder of how Erling Haaland is just one of the best players in the world. He had a bit of an injury-riddled season this past season in real life, but in terms of perception, in terms of the way he's rated and the way he has performed up to this point in his career, he's in a completely different level than the other two people we've been looking at, and I am glad that this simulation reminded everybody of that. Upon further investigation, we have discovered that Darwin Nunez suffered a hip injury over the course of this simulation, which removed him from action for 2 months. So we could project this out a little bit to say he would play about 20 matches and score 4 or 5 goals over the course of that, which is better, but it's still not near what the other two guys would have done. And you have to factor in him trying to gain sharpness as well, too. When we go into the advanced analytics from the past season, we can see Erling Haaland dominated the expected goals for the league. And this is probably a product of playing with Pep and at Man City as well. He had 17.44 expected goals over the course of the season, which was almost 3 higher than anybody else accumulated over the course of that season. Gabriel Jesus was 9th with 12.36 goals expected on the season. The service Erling Haaland's expected to receive, second to none. Actually, second in expected goals is the subscribe button. Who saw that coming? He led the league in average minutes per goal, where Gabriel Jesus finished behind the likes of Danny Ings down in 8th place, 153 minutes per goal, where Erling Haaland nearly had a goal every 90 minutes. He had a goal every 104 minutes. It's not nearly, but he was a lot closer than Edinson Cavani, who finished second. But what we've accidentally done is highlight one of the greatest underperformers of the past season, because leading the league in assists and assists per 90 over this simulation was Jadon Sancho, which just makes you wonder what happened. Erling Haaland was also fouled the most times in the Premier League, 111 fouls accumulated. Gabriel Jesus was 14 with just 69. Nice. But the big, most important takeaway from all of those analytics is that Erling Haaland dominated all of them and is set to come in and be arguably the best player in the Premier League, according to the Football Manager simulations, in no small part because of the team he already has around him. And clearly, FM does not think that Pep's going to have any issues integrating a true world-class striker into his system. I hope he stays healthy. As for Gabriel Jesus, he continues to be aggressively above average as a striker at the Premier League level. He did not transition to Arsenal and carry them to the Champions League in his first season, despite playing well. He's capable of being good and seemingly not capable of being great, despite the fact that he has 4 Premier League medals and is so much better than me that I really shouldn't be passing any judgment on him at all. But Erling Haaland is definitely better. We're adding something to the video. So I felt bad that Darwin Nunez got hurt. So we're actually going to rebuild this just on the Liverpool side. We're not going to move Erling. We're not going to move Gabby Jesus. We're just going to move Darwin Nunez and Sadio Mane. And we're gonna do it again to see what his numbers will actually be.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Our Nunez-centric simulation is done, and Liverpool actually finished 4th. That's worse than we thought. Is Darwin Nunez even playing? Yes, he played 14 matches. Did he get hurt? He got hurt 3 times, but none were nearly as serious. He played 18 matches and scored 4 goals. So still not transcendent, but he's going to get the improvement, and he is still young. Not as young as Erling Haaland, but young. It's crazy how young Erling Haaland is. I'm just going to say it. But Darwin Nunez on the Football Manager simulations has come up the shortest of all the 3 strikers that are the big moving strikers in the Premier League so far. Erling Haaland looks like the difference maker, and Darwin's going to need a huge bump in his ability in Football Manager to actually make a difference that they would want him to make in real life. We'll see if it actually happens. And if you want to keep it rolling with these simulations, we actually simulated the Premier League 100 times on Football Manager and broke down the results with some beautiful spreadsheets. You can check that out right here. I'm really just here to encourage your binge watching.